Peter Parker reflects on his life for years after Doctor Strange erased everyone's memory of him, leaving him in total isolation. The loss of Aunt May and the fact that Ned and MJ have completely forgotten him leaves Peter profoundly lonely. Peter stalks Ned and MJ's social media, seeing them graduate from MIT and prepare to return to New York. Despite his overwhelming personal pain, Peter continues to patrol the city as Spider-Man, keeping his identity a secret. Peter maintains a professional, masked relationship with Detective Direwolf, working together to keep the streets of New York safe. The Hand, a group of Japanese ninjas, causes chaos in the city, forcing Spider-Man to intervene in the aftermath of their organization's collapse. Spider-Man intercepts a hijacked tank tearing through the city streets, leading to a high-speed, destructive chase. Frank Castle, the Punisher, joins the chase, complicating the situation with his lethal methods, forcing Spider-Man to maneuver carefully. The tank heads toward the Department of Damage Control, where they are transporting Mac Gargan, also known as the Scorpion. The tank crashes into the facility. Spidey realizes the driver is a regular woman controlled by a mysterious psychic villain. The villain jumps from consciousness to consciousness, eventually possessing a security officer escorting Gargan. Spider-Man confronts the possessed guard, but his own mind repels a takeover attempt by the mysterious telepathic enemy. A bomb detonates on the tank, ending the immediate threat, but Scorpion is successfully extracted and whisked away by the villain. Spider-Man seeks help from the new Avengers, specifically Yelena Belova, who operates her office in an unconventional manner. Peter removes his mask for Yelena, who dismisses the telepathic threat as minor but notes someone is hacking damage control servers. They discover hackers are looking for something called a VMAX, a project the Avengers are only just becoming aware of. Spider-Man infiltrates the damage control headquarters, only to find Bill Metzger leading a new task force that includes the Hand. Metzger feigns ignorance regarding VMAX, prompting Peter to investigate further with Detective Direwolf's assistance. Peter spots Ned at a local market. Overcome by emotion, he follows him to a party where he introduces himself to MJ as a minor. Peter witnesses MJ with someone new, a painful reminder of the life he was forced to leave behind when his memory was erased. Peter returns home and discovers organic webbing emerging from his wrists, a horrifying sign that his body is undergoing a radical change. His AI, EVE, reveals that Peter's trauma is causing a rapid genetic evolution, making his spider powers stronger and harder to control. EVE locates Scorpion, and Spider-Man rushes to engage him, struggling to keep his intensifying temper and powers in check. In the battle, Spidey nearly kills a police officer, prompting Direwolf to warn him that he is becoming dangerous to the city. Peter visits Bruce Banner for advice, inquiring about inhibitors designed to suppress mutations caused by radiation exposure. Peter builds an inhibitor which initially helps suppress his spider genetics, but it fails to contain his power during high-stress situations. A possessed pedestrian approaches Peter, urging him to help find VMAX while revealing knowledge of the secret letter Peter wrote for MJ. The telepathic villain, Jean Grey, is confirmed to be operating from within Peter's proximity, playing with his memories and fears. Spider-Man heads to MJ's home to protect her, only for MJ to insist she recognizes him from their previous, forgotten life together. He realizes that MJ is actually under Jean Grey's influence, turning a tender moment of recognition into a psychic trap. With nowhere else to go, Peter seeks out Frank Castle for help, reminding the Punisher of a time he once saved his life. Frank reluctantly allows Peter and MJ to use his hideout to craft a better, more stable inhibitor to combat the psychic threat. While crafting the device, MJ reveals her own aptitude for biochemistry, working alongside Peter to pinpoint Jean Grey's identity. They trace Jean Grey's activities to a damage control facility, where she is aggressively hunting for the secret VMAX project. Spider-Man rushes to the scene to stop Jean, while Frank provides support, closing in on the telepathic threat. Jean Grey successfully takes control of Bruce Banner, unleashing the Hulk in a fight that threatens to destroy everything in its path. The conflict causes Bruce to lose his inhibitor, triggering a transformation into the uncontrollable Savage Hulk. Spider-Man desperately fights the Hulk, trying to trigger Bruce's memories to calm the beast down before it's too late. Spidey manages to place an inhibitor on Jean Grey, breaking her control over the Hulk and subduing the psychic threat. Metzger reveals that Sarah Grey, Jean's sister, was a former damage control researcher who was killed in the line of duty. Peter returns MJ home, but the emotional distance between them remains, a casualty of the magical memory wipe. Peter is left heartbroken as MJ acknowledges their lack of shared memories, yet a flicker of her true feelings remains. Spider-Man discovers Metzger lied about MJ's involvement, realizing there is more to the damage control cover-up than initially suspected. Yelena confirms the tragic truth: Sarah Grey was subjected to cruel experiments because of her shared telepathic potential with Jean. Damage Control had been harvesting their abilities for weaponization, a secret Sarah died trying to expose. Jean Grey, unable to use her powers due to the facility's dampeners, suffers under the weight of her sister's lost memories. Damage Control prepares to replicate the Grey sisters' telepathy, completely ignoring the ethical cost of their scientific pursuits. Jean's rage peaks as she discovers the truth about Sarah. Her power surges, shattering the facility's containment units. Spider-Man arrives as Jean unleashes an uncontrollable psychic blast, turning the hand against him with devastating efficiency. Jean taunts Peter, blaming Metzger for the loss of her sister, which forces Peter to confront his own profound grief. Peter removes his inhibitor, fully embracing his evolved spider genetics, finding a new level of control and power. He defeats the Hand with ease and confronts Jean, prepared to protect her from Frank Castle's incoming lethal strike. Peter connects with Jean through their shared loss, finally calming the telepath's heart by offering her empathy and understanding. Frank nearly shoots Jean, but Peter deflects the bullet, taking a hit to protect her from the Punisher's judgment. Spider-Man lets Jean go, realizing that she is not a villain, but a tragic victim of the system he was trying to work within. Frank rushes a wounded Peter to the hospital, gaining a newfound respect for the hero's unwavering moral code. Frank disguises himself as Spider-Man to divert the media, allowing the real Peter Parker to recover in peace. Peter visits Aunt May's grave, vowing to stop isolating himself and to reach out to the people who care about him. He reconnects with Ned, and their signature Spider-Man handshake miraculously begins to unlock forgotten memories. Ned's equipment detects a signal indicating Peter Parker's presence, but it's not on Earth, it's in deep space. The cliffhanger leaves Peter's future in the stars, signaling a new, cosmic chapter for our favorite web-slinger. And that is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Smash that like button and subscribe for more amazing breakdowns. This film reinvented Spidey for the modern age, exploring the heavy toll of his heroic responsibilities. The transition from an isolated teenager to a man haunted by the past makes this a standout story. Whether he's on Earth or in the stars, Peter Parker's struggle for connection remains the core of his character. Hit that bell notification so you never miss another cinematic journey into the Spider-Verse.